So I think one of the things that we should be aware of when we're looking at our audience and what our audience is doing is the difference between active behaviour and reflective behaviour, or automatic behaviour and reflective behaviour. And I think that is it's symptomatic in models of advertising, models of behaviour, such as hierarchical effects like AIDA, awareness, interest, desire, action, which assumes an information processing, sort of forward-looking, people making choices. And very often students frame the questions that they're asking in dissertations with the assumption that people are in that mode. And obviously in some cases people are in that mode. But in social marketing situations, I think we also need to be aware that a lot of behaviour is automatic. And so we need to sort of think about, are we measuring or are we trying to explore, depending obviously on whether we're doing qualitative or quantitative work, those kind, what is the nature of that behaviour. So, a typical automatic response is you go to the supermarket and you see the chocolate at the exit, and you may be on a diet, but you pick it up. Right, so many of the things we do, and we can't necessarily rationalise those ourselves. So if we're going to ask questions in doing some market research, why did you pick up that chocolate bar? People will not necessarily be able to rationalise it. Therefore, again, I think that a lot of social marketing research is better founded on what I'd call the social context than the individual context. So we've talked a little bit about, say, the difference between doing an in-depth conversation with somebody as compared to a focus group. If you're doing a focus group with a friendship group, you can get a lot of awareness about the social context, if you like, the automatic context in which people are doing their behaviour. And that, I think, is a very important thing for people to think about. So you need to almost do the first stage of your research is finding out, well, is this behaviour that we're investigating, is it within a reflective mode or an automatic mode? And then on the basis of that, be sort of thinking, what is the best way to then kind of find the context. Now, obviously, from that in turn, if we're looking at interventions, we might be sort of thinking about changing the environment, changing what Taylor and Sunston call the choice architecture. And I think that those are important issues for us to consider. So particularly, if we're still in the world where social marketing is trying to change or to frame behaviour, I think that those subtle differences in understanding are important.